How are you doing, folks? Welcome back to Museum Exploring with me, Rigo. And in this video, part 2 or 3, we'll be exploring the... Let me just check how you pronounce this.
Deutsches Museum Flugwerft Schleißheim.
Deutsches Museum Flugwerft Schleißheim. So, there you have it. I visited that place. German is not easy. So this was the reception. You have a little store. I thought about bringing something to my father. You know, he was the one who showed me the way for the aviation, but I was already way over my weight limits on my bag, so no books, too heavy. But you know, they had some really interesting books, some in English actually. Then some really cool revels. Some of those planes I'm really eager to see on DCS. Some of those planes I'll never see in IL-2, such as Life in the Zone. We have some cool revels there. And then you get inside. And this museum here, you know, the first one was like an exposition of some planes outside. Second one is like a more of, you know, a more of classic sense museum. But at the same time, they were going through some reforms, so the planes were all bunched together, and you could only circle around. So I saw some really cool models, as we will see, but I could not take take pictures or see from so cool angles because everything was bunched up on a short space, really, you know, limited area, because they were like reforming some parts of the museum. So yeah. You cannot win every battle, but I'm glad I got to see some of those airframes, you know, in real life. So yeah, let's get to check some planes and helicopters. In this case, they had helicopters here. This is a Sikorsky, whatever. I'm not a huge connoisseur of helicopters, but yeah, you can see this is a first generation helicopter because of the radial engine on it. Then another MiG-15. Big fan. This one, a UTI variant, a trainer, and you can see like a ultralight in here. Some other cool planes, but I didn't take pictures or pay attention to every plane. I'm more interested in some types, you know. Then, in much better condition, and now able to see from more angles, a MiG-21. I don't know the variants, but you can see that weird symbol here. Probably is from, you know, the other Germany they had in the 40s. So this is cool because, you know, I fly the Gazelle, and it's probably the only helicopter I know so far. I just bought the Huey and the Mighty 8. So yeah, this is the Alouette 2 on the right, and the BO-105 in good condition on the left. So the father of the helicopter I like to play, and the upcoming helicopter, if you want to believe the news. But really cool, and actually smaller than I thought they would be in real life. I just saw this picture and I had to do something about it, so I took a picture of this picture. Apparently they are really fond of pure flying in Germany. YouTube will probably censor it, but I don't care. So this is a big moment, right? That was like this small hall, and then on the second part they have like a really big hangar, and in the hangar they have like the cooler, you know, aircrafts. And this is the plane that brought me back to flight simulators back in 2018. I saw a video of this guy playing IL-2, and man, I cannot, if I found the video I'll put in the description, but I cannot find the video. I don't know if it was removed or something, but it was a guy playing the AG-111, and he had like head track, and there was this, you know, the cool lighting, and the lighting of the game was insane. The cockpit looked really good, head tracking, all that. So I was like, wow, I've been far away from flight sims for a long time. I want to go back. So I got my Thrustmaster 3-parts kit and bought IL-2. And this is the guy responsible for it. I got to check it in real life, and much cooler than I could imagine. Like the small planes, you kind of get an idea from video games, but the big planes, you gotta check them for yourself, man. These are really cool. This is actually a Casa, Spanish production of the Henkel 111. You know, fortunate son. A Huey. A shame I could not get any closer. And you have like some VTOLs in the background, but again, everything was so cluttered that I could not get good angles. And this is a Saber in a really good condition. It looks really good, and a shame I could not get any closer. So a DC-3, German DC-3. As you know, we have one here in our closest airport in Porto Alegre, and I took many pictures of it. I'm a big fan of DC-3, and unfortunately they released the Lisunov 2 while I was at this trip, and I'm taking some time off from flight sims until I get my new rudder. But you can see here, spoiler, an X-31. How cool is that? Like, in my childhood I dreamed about seeing this plane, and there it is. I tried to take better pictures, better angles. So the sun was not in a good spot, but I managed to take a good picture of the Casa. That cockpit is insane. So a T-33, another T-33, something, the X-31. Look at that. I was really happy, you can see by my face. So, one of the forefathers of aviation, Otto Lilienthal, had this, Batman suit. He would try to, scare his neighbors and jump off cliffs. Fortunately, that led to his death, but his progress was really important for aviation in general. And they have like a mock-up, I don't believe this is the original one, of what Otto used to jump off cliffs. Cliffs, I mean, no, steep, hills, but still. So a Horton glider, the first attempts of humanity to make a flying wing. I'm gonna say it. This is one of the coolest models they had in the museum. They had some really cool planes, but this is so out of the ordinary that the only way to actually make sense about it was to check it, real life, because this is a really unique aircraft. Super crazy to look. Super crazy. Cessna 195, old school Cessna, really interesting to see how Cessna progressed. But may one day I fly a 152. So, me angrily look at a MiG-21. I'm just taking extra pictures here just to make sure. The afterburner of the MiG-21. And if I'm not mistaken, in the bottom is the part of the engine. I might be wrong. So yeah, I have these and a First World War plane in there, some gliders. They have a lot of gliders in German museums. That is a cool picture. Although I cannot get like in its entirety, but still, what a cool plane. And this is the interesting thing. I actually had to wait a little bit. Kids were going insane over this. This is a G91 cockpit. First time in my life I got into a fighter cockpit. Really cool. And of course, as the part 1 of this video, I have videos of everything, but the history of some spicy history here of this airport. Really cool night fighter in here, a 110. A lot of miniatures, as always. If not mistaken, this guy is the one we saw outside, but I don't know. Cargo planes are not my thing. Yeah, some cool fighters here. Oh, the Ghost of Kiev! Ooh. Sorry about my skepticism. So yeah, another picture of that beautiful one, a Dornier float plane in the background. And this is the only Focke-Wulf 190 I got to see in my life so far. What was left of one. Different angles, and yes, ace combat moments, a tornado, and an EF-2000. I'm old enough to know how it was called, an Eurofighter Typhoon. I just take a good picture to know how asymmetric the Heinkel is. The float plane and the two VTOLs, you can see this one, the engine parts, and the other one that lifts the engine. If you like aviation, you know what I'm talking about. I tried taking better pictures, but I could not. By the way, good thing I never tried to be a fighter pilot because I am too tall. Like, these cockpits are really small. This is how, like, I'm lowering my smartphone to record it, because if I had a helmet on and tried to close it, it'd just slam in the head. So, thanks for watching my second part of my museum hunting in Germany. And this part was in Schleißheim, or however you pronounce it. So, thanks for watching, and sure enough, I left the best part for the end. The third part will be in the Deutsches Museum, downtown Munich, or München, how they said it. And no, has some really cool planes and stuff in there. So yeah, see you on part 3. Bye bye.